Hello, everybody, and welcome to Chapter 20. Right now, let's everybody, kind of contextualize yourselves into this big, beautiful world. It's now roughly 1800. America is independent, and Napoleon is in charge of Europe. So part of Napoleon taking over Spain was that he made them give New France back to the French, and New Spain, their colonies are kind of not so crazy about the French-dominated Spanish government, so they're kind of running themselves. Well, as we all know, Napoleon sold the New France, the United States, Louisiana Purchase, and he also was unsuccessful in retaking Cuba for France, so Cuba becomes an independent country. And so you have an enlarged U.S., an independent republic in the form of Haiti. And I didn't hit on Haiti last time. Haiti was a place where, led by Toussaint Louverture and inspired by some of the French Revolution ideals, but also, is trying to get rid of horrifying, oppressive slave labor as, their lives. The slaves of Haiti, the slaves of Saint-Domingue, which was a French colony, beat the French and started an independent republic. But now we have, on a larger scale, all the Spanish colonies are kind of running themselves. But after Napoleon gets kicked out, the Spanish government is just like, all right, you guys being able to run yourselves, that was cool and whatever, but it's over now, right? And is that ever how stuff works in history? No. So, yeah. So they say no, and there's a couple of wars, and the two major leaders of the anti-Spanish colonial forces, you have Simón Bolívar. He's in the north. You have José de San Martín, and he's more towards the south. And they're fighting each other. Alright, they're not fighting each other, but they're both fighting in Spanish. And in the end, it ends up in a bunch of new countries. Simón Bolívar had dreamed of one very large, united Gran Colombia, but that doesn't end up panning out. So, we get countries we have today: Venezuela, Colombia, and Panama was part of Colombia, and the Central American countries, and then Mexico declares independence from Spain as well, and is briefly an empire, but then becomes a republic. Then you have, Ecuador, Peru, I didn't draw that too well, Peru, Chile, and Bolivia, back when Bolivia still had its coastline, and Paraguay, and then you have Uruguay, Argentina. So lots of new countries in South America, and then Brazil, the Portuguese monarchy, when France takes over, comes out to Brazil, so then some of them go back, but not all of them. So now there's an emperor, or a king of Portugal and an emperor of Brazil, and they split up. There was a war, which was like father versus son, or brother versus brother, or something like that. So now you have independent countries in the Americas, and one of the things, so something to think about with the United States is there had been a little bit of a tradition of self-government, like the Puritans in Massachusetts have assemblies and stuff like that, and there's the Virginia House of Burgesses and all that great stuff. But Latin America had been kind of dominated by the Spanish directly with very little elected representation, so they don't have as much of a tradition of self-rule and stuff like that, so they have a harder time transitioning into this new, the new republican systems. And then you see the rise of such non-democratic leaders as the caudillos. So it's like quasi-dictator, military type things. So so that's what's going on in America. And the United States is expanding, and then there's the Mexican-American War, because the United States wants the Mexican state of Texas, which is it's more complicated than that, but for the most part, And then America gets this northwest area here, which is the Oregon Territory, and so then America takes the shape we all know them of. And then the Russians get Alaska, and then after the U.S. Civil War, the United States purchases it from, from the Russians. And that's British Canada, which will get more independence later. All right. So, yeah. And we all know American Civil War, all that great stuff. So then we have some stuff is going on in art, which I think I will briefly hit on. So you have there was the really old Middle Ages art, which is like the creepy looking, all that stuff. Then you have Baroque, that's like Renaissance, beautiful and really lifelike and all that. But then, if you think about Baroque, it's a lot of stuff like, I'm trying to think. It's very idealistic, right? So then you go into more of like the Romantic stuff, which is, again, idealistic, but it also takes on like more natural themes. A lot of Baroque stuff is Christ-centric, Bible-centric. Then you go into Romantic, and then you have some different stuff that's going on. And this isn't totally a linear trend, but you have like realism, you have Impressionism. And Impressionism is the first art in Europe that is like going away from realism as a goal, like having it look real. Impressionism, that's like watercolors and broad strokes and stuff like that. Yeah. And then, alright, and then you also have realism as a literary genre too. People like Charles Dickens, some very gritty stuff, because this is all during the Industrial Revolution, where it's not exactly fun to, be in Europe or be a person if you're one of the cogs in the global industrial machine. So, yeah. That's America. Then we have modernism. Yeah, and all that art stuff. Alright, so that's about it for right now, which sets us up for, as the Industrial Revolution is going on, the more imperialism and stuff like that, which will be next episode.